in, and you know one thing I do like about him? He'll put his head where other people won't even put their boot.
Yeah. We want people that are going to be competing for that first team spot, exactly. not another Shaqiri.
The way that this brother plays football, when we were linked, I didn't want to comment because I didn't want to smile.
Evening, everybody. Welcome to FTB Sports Kop Talk. This is your host, Jems from FTB. With me tonight, we have our other Kop FTB panelist, Nick. We've got another FTB Kop panelist, the Kop artist, and we have Potsy, who is basically an FTB panelist now. We're bringing him over to our side from TikTok, Potsy Talks Footy. Okay, so we're going to discuss today's heavyweight match, Liverpool versus Chelsea. So the end result was 1-1. I know a few Liverpool fans at the start would have maybe been happy with a 1-1. Chelsea, probably the favourites to win the Premier League. However, as you can tell by the subdued vibes in this stream, we are not
It's
happy.
not subdued. It's not happy. Basically.
I'm pissed off. I'm really fucking pissed off.
That makes the two of us. That makes everyone. It makes everybody on this stream.
We're all pissed off right now. So we will get into that. First of all, let's start off with the first half. Before the huge drama that has ensued, and if anybody, we'll get into that, but anybody tries to tell me it's a red card, they better go and start watching tennis. Right. I thought the first half we were great. I think Chelsea got a great defense. I think Alonso was having a nightmare with the combination of Salah and Elliott, even Trent kind of interlocking with them. I quite liked that they were playing so high up. I noticed Matip was even covering for Trent sometimes on that back line. It's so hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't easy, seriously. First off, let's take some positives from the action. Elliott.
You go. Give us some positives.
No fear. I shall. Elliott, no fear whatsoever.
Yeah.
Seriously. And for his age and his footballing brain and acumen, yeah, I'd say he was man of the match, arguably.
The man of the match. I know Gary Neville chose someone else, but he knew really.
Yeah,
he knew really.
Yeah, well, a potato would, you know. Other than that, yes, it was nice to see Virgin Matip, you know, holding down the defense as the two rocks of our foundation. But other than that, I just felt the first half felt a bit limp and lifeless. A proper chess match, to be fair, yes.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the big talking point that's been happening is, you know, Virgil and Lukaku.
Yeah.
Kop artist.
Yeah, there was that.
Did anybody hear much from Lukaku today?
No, it didn't happen.
Did it need to really rough him up?
No, it didn't happen. It was never going to happen. Virgil's too skillful and he's too football savvy to allow Lukaku to try and turn him or run him. He did manage to do it with Matip once, where he did turn him and got away.
Did you see Matip barge him off the ball? I love it. That was my moment of the match.
But there was no way that was ever going to happen. They're just trying to build it up into something that was never going to be. But the first half, I agree with Nick. It was a bit sort of limp, especially after the first 20 minutes. I thought that first 20 minutes we did okay. We looked pretty sharp.
Yeah.
The likes of Elliott, who I totally agree, man of the match. That guy just ran his heart out today. He went for everything. He was chasing down constantly. He was sometimes he was on the right, sometimes he was on the left.
Yeah.
But he was always trying to chase that ball down. Bobby, before he came off, was instrumental. dropped back into the midfield to pick the ball up and make things happen.
Yeah.
Disappointed with some of the players. With Mane, it's not been right for 18 months, in my opinion.
We'll get on to Mane.
Yeah.
I'll pick up on what you just said with Bobby, though. I really think when he came off, we missed Bobby. We really missed him. He, like you said, the first 20 minutes, we were quite on it. What minute did Bobby come off? I'd say around that time, possibly. He was going deep, helping close the ball down, win the ball back, bringing it back up to the front. And Klopp's kind of persisting to use Jota in this Bobby role. I understand Bobby was injured of some sort, so he had to play him there. But I don't think he is anywhere near as effective. Potsy, Jota in the Bobby role, for me, especially against Chelsea.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, obviously Bobby had to come off because of the injury. So, that's the reality of the situation. And Bobby did look good during
Where
the game.
Where was Origi?
It was surprised. That's what we needed. Big Dick Divock.
No.
It's a running joke. Don't worry, Kev. Don't worry.
But, yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm just deflated by that whole first half. To be honest, I saw no positives at all, apart from Harvey
Elliott.
Elliott.
Go on to the goal, Potts. We haven't spoken about the goal, have we?
Yeah.
Break down that goal for us.
I don't know how. That's the thing. Like their goal, it seemed with how poor our corners were, our tactic was to attack the front post and go for the first man because we couldn't get it past the first fucking guy who was standing there.
I know.
And then Chelsea do it, and fucking Havertz, fair play to him, as a hell of a header. Header. to get the dip on it as he did, that close to the goal, fair play. But like, who was marking him? Who was? He
should have been able to get that header.
Yeah. I mean, it was a class header, but he shouldn't be in a position where anyone has him. And yeah, for me, I'll be honest, I think we struggled really in that first half. And if it wasn't what happened at the end, which obviously we're going to get to, the end of that first half, we would have lost this game. We really struggled. In the first 15 minutes, we had a couple of shots. Elliott right at the start, which, is a great confidence booster for him. And I thought he was our man of the match. But Conte, man, I hate him. I hate him. I hate the fact that I love him. I love him so much.
He's so good.
He is just so good. And he just absolutely ran our midfield. And I honestly thought he did like a Virgil van Dijk injury with that collision with Mane. It looked quite bad. But that's what sort of makes the second half even worse for me, because I can't say, we struggled, but, Conte was still there. No, he came off at half time. And, that should have been another thing in our favour, because he just absolutely ran that first half, man. Honestly, he's ridiculous. But the goal, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know who was meant to be marking him. I don't know what happened.
I mean, all I saw in the build up to it, when I saw the replay, is kind of Fabinho's in a situation where he's got him on that side and Rudiger there, and he's having to make that decision. Who do I go with? He's chose to go Rudiger. I can't blame him for that. Ball's coming in, header. And then he's just obviously slid in behind Robbo. Robbo's probably one of the smallest on the pitch.
That's the thing,
I even saw him behind him.
But then whoever
got that header, that it was just going in. Becker can't see that.
In that case, then whoever is our set piece defensive coach, there's coaches for every little role in the game now. So whoever we got doing our set piece defensive coaching needs a slap, because Havertz is well known for how good he is in the air. So he needs one of the big guys on him. He needs someone looking after him.
Is it a case of, when we had a similar situation against Norwich, but it was from our perspective where everyone was on Virgil in the box, there's a corner coming in, which left Salah open. Was it a case, I'd have to look back again, I didn't really pay much attention. Was it a case of, Lukaku's in the box, got his arms up ready? Were we on him and Havertz just got forgotten about? I'd have to relook at it, but it is kind of that influence on having a big guy in your team in the box. It kind of distracts from those little ones like Jota and Havertz that can get
I mean, I hope that's not the case though, because Klopp is so meticulous with how he sets the team up in every position. You think about the players that we bring into the club; it's so meticulous. Even the transfers. We've even got the throwing coach, and we've seen the actual benefits of actually having a throwing coach in the team.
Yeah.
So
we got laughed at because of that, but yeah.
So whoever is setting these players up for the set pieces, whoever went through the board and went, right, Chelsea have got this, this, and this. You're marking him. You're marking him. Unless it's the players who decide to do their own thing, they need to be marking their man. And I don't know if it's the player's fault. I don't know if it's the coach's fault. But Kai Havertz should not be allowed to be on his own for a header, because he is brilliant.
Communication. Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me.
He is brilliant at it. So I'm not gonna
panic stations, maybe, you know, a bit of.
I'm not gonna make any excuses for them, Jems. I'm not. They should have handled that situation.
We should have.
Havertz, don't get me wrong.
Like panic stations a little bit at times in that first half towards the end of it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the Conte, especially, man, like. When you saw them break against us, it was only because they made the wrong pass that they didn't punish us. That was the only reason. There was a couple of times when they could put Lukaku right through the middle, but they decided to go wide. If they didn't do that, we'll be sitting here even more depressed than we are now.
Jeez. Kev. Reece James.
Yeah.
Silly boy.
Yeah.
Silly boy. So he stopped the goal from going in, but ultimately it was still 1-1 and they were a man down.
It's I know we were speaking about it off air. But it's a red card all day long. It's a penalty all day long. Yes, it come off his knee, onto his arm. Now, I think if he hadn't have moved his arm, and the ball didn't go in, I don't think they would have blown for penalty, because his arm would have been in a natural position, but he actually moved and scooped the ball away. That movement alone is what's caused the penalty and the red card. And by the rules of the game, it's a red card. He's got to go off. So there's no argument about it. It doesn't matter what anybody outside of it says.
About the red card. Yeah. But like we were saying, if you know football.
Yeah, you can't argue with it.
I'm not going to argue with people about it.
I spent the halftime arguing with people. I was doing like my TikTok watch along with the game. And firstly, anyone who's watching this who came from the watch along, thank you very much, because it was probably the most people I've ever had in a live, which is fantastic. But I spent the whole time arguing with them, trying to explain to them the simple rules of football. It's not a case that, because it's Liverpool or whatever. No, Reece James handled the ball. It wasn't a case that his arm was just stuck behind his back and it bounced off his leg. It was bouncing off his leg, going into the back of the net because of it. So he moved his arm, and that is handball. And because it's on the line, it stops a goal. It's a red card. It's the simple rules of the game. And the fact that people...
premeditated or not, where the player is. He's on the goal line in the 6-yard box. It's a straight red. I don't care what anybody says. Come on.
Yeah.
Exactly. And honestly, it's just... just spent my halftime just arguing, just trying to explain to people how football works, what the rules of the game are. It doesn't matter if you don't like the fact it's not a red card.
I didn't want that's the rule. A red card. I feel like
I did, because we were struggling. Like I was really happy when they went down to 10.
I've got an interesting point though, and I'm going to ask Kev this question in a minute. Kop Artist. I'm just going to go through some comments, but I've got a theory that I'm going to put to Kop Artist after this. Right. Let's open some stuff. Reece, we're pissed off, mate.
My little
pretty much, we are.
Silly question, mate. Huh? Bit of a silly question, Reece. By the way.
Yes, our ever faithful Reece. Reece, I looked for your comments last week. Leave your email address in the comments, or if you're on Twitter, find us on FTB Football and private message us your email address, and we will be in contact with you and we'll try and get you on the show. All right, darling. 1-1. We should have won so many, but couldn't take them. Oh, don't get me started.
We'll get on to the second half.
Hi, Reece. That was a great matchup. Got a Mundy here. Hi, Muns. props to Chelsea. They defended like beasts. Rudiger is a giant.
Yeah.
Give it to Rudiger. Breaking down a motivated and organised 10 men ain't always easy. I mean, absolutely. I'll give props to Rudiger. Rudiger was, he can be a bit crazy, but he kept it together. We got Ola Kunle. Evening. Glad for you to join us. I've lost where I am now. See, I'm just as bad as our team.
Look, how many other players in
so many
Premier League, how many clubs know how to park the bus as well as Chelsea?
I know, right? And they've got a very good bus to park. They've got a top class bus to park, haven't they? They got a Mercedes class bus to park.
And we didn't help ourselves either.
Ola Kunle, 2 points dropped, but VVD and Matip handled Lukaku. Great Chelsea goalkeeper.
Yeah.
No goal. Yeah, to me it feels like a loss. The way that Premier League is now, this feels like an absolute loss to me. Chelsea aren't favourites for title. LFCR. I mean, I feel like we're a little bit of the dark horse, to be honest, this season. On Monday, Elliott done well, had a great chance to score with his right foot. I know. Rudiger was man of the match, in my honest opinion.
No.
Not
Not a chance.
You're right. Lukaku was eaten up by Virgil and co. I mean, I barely heard his name mentioned. I just saw him in the middle half, just doing this. Like, where's the ball? Where's the ball? Yeah, you ain't getting the ball. And I think a lot of the key to that was Fabinho as well.
Yeah, he did get away with a lot. Loved it.
He did. But I'd argue some of them did as well. Loved Elliott. We missed Bobby closing down. Bobby was doing a fantastic job. I think we really did miss him.
Yeah, he was, Sam.
Evening, Sam. In all honesty, 11 versus 11, Chelsea were better, barring the first 15, 20 minutes. Yeah. Wasted opportunity. Absolutely. Yeah. You know, these 2 points really, really upset that we've dropped these 2 points. Agree, Sam. 11 versus 11, Chelsea was strong.
Yeah.
What game were you watching, Sam? If you had remained 11, obviously you would have won. Robbo should be attacking the near post. Okay, I'm going to come back to these comments in a second. So, Kop artist.
Mm-hmm.
I believe if Reece James hadn't have done that stupid mistake, or if he'd have just let the ball go in and it was 1-1, I believe we would have had a better chance of winning that game. And I'll tell you why.
Go on,
because ultimately, when we were 1-0 down, they just parked up. We struggled. When they were down to 10 men, they're going to park up because they're a man down. If it had been 1-1, level playing field, 11 versus 11, they would have had to come back out. I think that would have suited us more. I think a lot of the reason we played better in the first 20 minutes was because it was before the goal and it was before Bobby came off. I think had that I would have rather that goal have just gone in, Reece James stayed on the pitch, no penalty, just played out the game. I think that would have been more of an advantage. That's my theory. How do you feel on that?
I think it's always difficult when a team goes down to 10 men, because like you say, a team, will always park the bus because they're trying to defend whatever lead or whatever draw that there are on at the time. Having that 11 versus 11 makes it an even playing field, yes, but it keeps the game open. Okay, so you haven't. So obviously with Chelsea, what they did is they made substitutions, they changed things around, and still maintained a decent back line, and then they had that shored up with the midfield as well, pulling back. So and we know from last season's experiences and previous season's experiences, we struggle to break down teams that defend. And they still haven't managed to work out what to do with it. So the more teams cotton on to all this factor, if they're going to play for a draw and they're just going to back down and back down and back down into their own half, and defend, and you've got 11 players behind the ball, and you've got maybe 3, 4 if you're lucky, attackers up front.
Yeah.
You're playing 11 versus 4. You're going to be very lucky to break down 11 with 4 players.
Yeah.
So I agree. I agree with you with if it was 11 versus 11, I think we would have had a better chance. Not to say that Chelsea were playing really well with 11, because they were.
Absolutely, they were. But I feel we were at our best as well before they scored, and we were a goal down. Popsy, what do you think on my theory? I
understand.
When we went a goal down, that was when our game dipped.
Like, I understand your theory in terms of the fact we do prefer teams to come at us. And we prefer to look for the opportunities to nick the ball, counter-attack, and obviously make our move. But the fact is that first half, we couldn't even do that. Like, we had no opportunities of note. Even in the second half, when Chelsea were down to 10 men, they created more open opportunities than us. We were shooting from long range, and I get it because obviously we had to try and take on 11 men in the same box. But when Chelsea broke out in those situations, you know, you had Lukaku shot that was blocked from Matip. If he wasn't there, that's 2-1. Kovacic's shot that was blocked, but that was deflected by Matip. That could have went anywhere. Like, they opened us up when they hit us on the counter. We only managed to hit them on the break once. And when Salah screwed that up by just back passing to the goalkeeper, essentially, with his right foot. I don't know what he was trying to do. But in that first half, we weren't even creating those sorts of opportunities. We weren't allowed to break out because of Kante. Simple as that. He was just that good. We couldn't break out. We couldn't break the line. And Chelsea, 11 or 10, it doesn't matter. They are a very well-organised team under Tuchel. So it was always going to be a difficult game. But the fact is, we weren't creating chances. And I don't know if that would have changed if it stayed 11v11. I think we still would have struggled to create the chances that we needed to try and get the win. What I am sort of happy about is the fact that what we didn't have last season, in the second half, we were actually trying to shoot from long range. We weren't doing that last year when we're still struggling to break teams. Van Dijk's drive, Henderson's curler. You know, I'm glad that they were actually trying different things.
That's what Ox said he's going to bring.
See, that's what
exactly.
Now that's what I didn't understand. Okay, Bobby is forced off. Klopp's plans have been changed because of this forced error. That's plain to see in the aftermath of the replacement.
Yeah.
You know, okay, despite our toothlessness going forward, it was a game of cat and mouse.
Yeah.
Counter in the middle of the park, counter. So on. Bobby going off for me was the tipping point.
Yeah, we lost our pool.
We lost our momentum. We lost, I wouldn't say cool, but definitely we did lose and invented.
He was kind of counteracting Kante, wasn't he? In some ways in that midfield. He might have been given that task. You get that little guy and let everyone else.
When you drop deep, just, whisper in his ear. Just pull his shirt one time as you run past him. Just make him aware that you're still there. I don't know, but it didn't happen. And that's what most annoys me.
I mean, Nick, we've got a comment here from Sam saying Jota and Mane played well, especially Jota. I'm sorry, but I have to disagree. I think they were the two weakest on the pitch today. I have to disagree with you there, Sam. I mean,
okay.
Nick,
Let me try and advocate what Sam's trying to say here. Given the circumstances and the situation, they played well, yes, but only one of them played well, and that was Jota. Given the best of a bad situation, for me not having to come off and him having to go and play in that position when ideally it should be a 4-man attack. No. Mane did not play well. He didn't play well today. Sorry.
No. He was the weakest.
His rueful, boyish smile just fucking out annoyed me. It did annoy me today. I'm sorry, but
It's fine.
Out.
This is
There
therapy.
are times where, seriously, there are times when I feel like, come on, man, your smile is not helping me.
Yeah. Kop artist, what did you think of Mane today?
Well, I thought today Mane showed absolutely everything that he showed last season, which was nothing. For 18 months, I've been saying this for 18 months on the podcasts, on my TikTok live watch-alongs and stuff, how poor he's been he's not been as dynamic with taking players on. He just seems to get the ball stuck under his feet constantly. His passing is atrocious. His decision-making is poor. Falling over too many times when he's just hardly been touched, trying to get a foul.
Yeah, I hate that.
Just everything about his play, everything about his demeanor. He doesn't seem happy. He doesn't seem like he wants to play for us anymore. And to be quite honest with you, I was the one last year, at the end of the last season, saying he needs to go. Because if you're going to play like that and have that demeanor about you, then I don't want you in a red shirt, mate. Fuck off somewhere else.
Well, I think, Jota should be giving him a run for his money. And if he is going to have games like this, he needs to be benched. And that's where I would like Jota playing, to be fair.
Put him in that role that he was bought for.
I'd agree.
What
I would say,
that Potsy,
what I would say is that what Mane's done for us since he's been with us, he's deserved another season to try and get back to what we've seen before. I'd say we definitely did the right thing in keeping him. Today it hasn't been his best game. We have started to see him do a bit better. Obviously against Burnley, he looked sharp. Yeah, today wasn't a great game. What does frustrate me about Mane at the moment is that I don't see him trying to cut in on his right anymore. He always seems to try and get the full back to close in and then keep running down the left. I want the Mane who wants to just curl it in from, outside the box on his right, cut in on his right and just try and curl it in. I want that Mane back. I don't know if that's a tactics thing from Klopp, potentially. But yeah, look, I'm not going to judge him on this game. Yeah, he didn't have a great game. But the fact is, the only reason he was still on the pitch is because Jota had to come on for Firmino. Obviously, Klopp, for whatever reason, doesn't yet trust the Ox as that false nine, which apparently he's been trained for. So Jota, he's had a good start to the season and playing up top. It made sense for him to be the direct change for Firmino. But yeah, I'm still going to give Mane the rest of this season. I'm not going to compare what he's done for us to last season.
I'd agree with you on that. I accept that as well. I accept it. It's just, come on.
I mean, I think last game he was all right. Last game, he got his goal. I think he was looking a bit sharp. But like you said, he's pre-season as well. Him and Salah have just looked, causing trouble, closing in on the goalkeepers, making the defenders panic. I just don't know what happened today.
That's the thing. It's not just Mane for me. I think there's a few players who feel let down.
I mean, arguably Salah wasn't at his best today either. If you're going to criticize Mane, I'd have to say the same with Salah. His attempt was poor, really poor. No effort, no energy in that pass, and Elliott outshone him on that wing. Yeah. An 18-year-old shouldn't be outshining Mo Salah on that wing.
An 18-year-old shouldn't be our best player on the pitch.
No, absolutely.
It's as simple as that. And he was absolutely phenomenal.
By far.
That's the problem. Obviously, Matip and Virgil, they did look comfortable. Matip had a dodgy moment, especially with Mason Mount right at the start as well. Absolutely done him. But apart from that, he looked comfortable. Virgil was Virgil. I think he slipped once against Lukaku or something like that right at the start. Yeah. And then, he's Virgil. He gets his composure. He bullies him. He controls the game.
I think Robertson was fantastic before he came off. I think more in the first half. I noticed, when we were taking a bit long dilly-dallying, he was a bit like, he was intercepting fast, like, right, I haven't got time for this. Let's up the tempo. I feel like he always wants to up the tempo, and I think people around him were kind of slowing it down. I'm just going to go on to some comments a minute, and we can just regroup. Monday, welcome to our world. Defending corners with stupid zonal marking. Oh, I don't know what it was on Monday, but defending corners and taking corners, we're going to get onto that as well once I've gone through.
Oh, God.
Our set pieces have been shocking, absolutely shocking. Olakunle, they did play well, but so did we. It was an excellent game until James cheated. Don't know. It's a pen for sure, but to punish the team twice with a red card is harsh in my opinion, but it's the rules. Again,
that's the point. That's the point. It's, we know it's harsh. We know it's harsh, but it's the rule of the game. So anyone saying, it shouldn't have been a red. Well, no, that's the fucking rule of the game. It's on the goal line and he blocks it with his hand. Like, why is, like, fucking Gary Lineker's tweeted about it saying, it was a pen, but it's not a red. How the fuck do you come to that? How can you come to that? Like,
it's Reece James, isn't it? Soft
I don't give a shit. He's one of the worst he's most overrated right back the fucking country that should be Reece James ahead of Trent or Wan-Bissaka. No, it shouldn't.
Haven't we been given, or do we have access to the Premier League rules for 21-22 season?
I mean,
we can find them.
I've got Sky Sports in the background, and I saw them literally putting it up on the screen. That's how much people are just not understanding this rule book. The ref on the pitch, the VAR staff, they have a rule book and they have followed it. If the roles were reversed, there would be absolute meltdown.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'll be fuming if that happened to Trent. But the reality is, it is the rules. But of course, I can understand where Chelsea fans would be annoyed because it's not like Granit Xhaka's tackle today. Going and jumping off the ground 2-footed. It is.
Yeah, come on.
But the reality is, he moves his arm to block the ball. It's as simple as that. The ball
go in, it's 1-1. Yeah. It's not the end of the world,
Yeah, but you can understand. You can understand where why he did what he did. His natural instinct is to try and stop the ball from going in. He's not thinking clearly in that sense. But the reality is, if you watch the replays, the ball bounces off his leg and is about to roll in before he moves his arm. That's it. So anyone trying to argue the point,
I'm not arguing with anyone else. No.
So the reality is, we know it's harsh,
but that's it.
That's it. It's harsh, but they're the rules.
Yeah.
And
yes, he will learn on Monday. He will learn this harsh lesson. Okay, so he won't do it for England. If he
won't be playing for England.
No. Sam, was it just me, or did everyone feel the intensity and the wave of the attack was strongest at the start of the second half and slowly fading out? Yeah, because they just had Klopp up their ass telling them to fucking sort it out, and then that just dipped. Openly, the rules of the game mean it's red card. That's what we're saying. It was a clear red, though I may differ with my opinion about the yellows. Well, they were crowding the ref. And
I mean, that's up to the ref. If they're swearing at him and things like that, the refs do now have the powers.
If he's made a decision. I don't see the point in crowding him for as long as they did as well. Fair enough, try and argue your point, but once he's walked down the tunnel, just get on with it. This is my son. It was a red, Romeo. When you come home, Mummy's going to teach you the rules of football. All right, babe? Tony Fox, Mr. Silver Fox. This is from our Armory TV Arsenal channel. At least you have a point.
We've got 7.
We dropped 2.
We've got 7 of them.
7 in total, but to me, this feels like a loss. This should have been, once they had Reece James sent off, that should have been 3 points in the bag. Yeah. I am pissed off. I am. This is Leary Pranks. First time I've seen you on here. Good evening. Hello. I hope you enjoy the therapy session that we're providing for us today. Kendra, again, well done. Good evening for joining us. I don't know if you're from Potsy's live stream and you've come to join the therapy session as well. Played well, but disappointing draw. Absolutely. I don't even think I'd say we played well.
Just water.
For now.
Kendra, I was hoping Thiago's the X factor to come on to score. I think by then they'd parked. You know, they were playing absolute one of the best defenses in the Prem, and they'd parked their Mercedes S-Class bus. I don't think Simon Cowell could have broke that down.
Seriously, they just became 6'7" bricks.
Yeah,
6'7" tall and flipping 3 foot wide.
Mendy and Rudiger alone. You know, it's like, gosh. Electoral Nation, can we just join the discussion, please? I mean, if you leave your email in the comments, we can have it. We'll look at getting you on at some point. Unfortunately, you can't right now. There's enough moaners on here at the moment. But leave your details in the comments and we can get back to you on that one. Larry Pranks, yeah, can we join the StreamYard? Not today, boys. I'm sorry. I got worried when Chelsea counter-attacked a couple of times. My heart was beating. Yeah. After 10 minutes, they thought, oh, do you know what? We still got a chance here. And they started fucking coming at us again. And it was, you know, a bit.
I was vexed.
Same.
There's got one man left. What the fuck is that again?
And this is Anfield. Fortunate for us, Chelsea had dreadful passing in the final three, but I think so did we. I think that was where both of us were weak today. I think we both were weak in the final third, ultimately. Okay, right, let's keep going. We needed 3 points today, but credit to Chelsea. I know I'm not giving them any credit. Kendrick again, fantastic effort, much better effort than Arsenal. Well, you know. I mean, these guys keep asking if they can call in. I'm really sorry, boys, you can't call in. But like I said, next show, if you want to make an appearance, leave your details in the comment section on YouTube and I'll contact you. But unfortunately, there's no call in. This is our...
Sorry.
Go on.
No phones, sorry. This is the only way we communicate.
We'll start a radio show.
Yeah.
Just do it that way.
It will be very busy in games like this, won't it? This is Solo 7 from the Man United Agenda channel. No phone in, buddy. Yeah, this is the main man as well, so he will tell you. Solo 7. Let's have a look through. If Virgil, I know this moment would have been like the Alisson header, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, at the start,
40-yard drive.
That would have been an Alisson moment, wouldn't it? That would have had, you know, the Baywatch theme music over it a lot. You know, when those remakes were done of Alisson's header and it had the Baywatch theme going on. Yeah, I agree, Kendra, and that was a big moment missed. Solo 7, hit that like, share, and subscribe. Let's get these likes up on this video, please. If you like what you're seeing, like, share, subscribe, hit the reminder button, and you'll know when we are live every time. Bees McKee, good evening, welcome. We are Chelsea fans, and we want to join the StreamYard. Is this all the ones you've brought in from your live?
I have no ideas. There were so many people commenting. I didn't see many names. I was just obviously focusing on the match, and anytime it went quiet.
Mr. Silver Fox, why did Kanate not play? Because
come on, man.
The level of the game.
Unless he's playing up front, there was no need for him.
No need. Lukaku was muffled out. We didn't need him. Kendra and Kante always plays maximum effort. Absolutely.
Ridiculous, that man.
Mark Andre, we're going to start disliking if you don't let us discuss the game soon. What can I say, boys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. If you're enjoying it, then carry on watching and like and comment, and we will answer any points you want us to discuss. Unfortunately, we cannot bring you on. This is a live stream right now. If you want to be a part of the FTB Kop Talk, leave your details and I will get in contact with you. If you don't like it, I'm really sorry and apologize. There's no need to dislike the channel. That's just, you know, gonna break my heart more than losing 2 points at Anfield. Thoughts on how Henderson played, Nicholas? Potsy?
I thought he was poor.
Yeah.
Personally, especially in the first half, he really struggled in the midfield battle. Obviously, had that one rare opportunity where Trent was able to get the ball across over the Chelsea, and I don't know what he was trying to do. Like, just smash it. He obviously had that curler in that second half as well.
No, he had a brain fart. That's what it was.
He just
he
hit
was
it.
too close. He was too close.
Just hit it.
If that had just been someone else.
Yeah, well, I don't know, because I don't think we've got a left foot in the squad, apparently. If it was Robbo, probably our best chance. But yeah, I just felt he really struggled to control the game. I felt some of the passes when we had the opportunity to break out with the quality. Right, remember Stamford Bridge last season, Hendo's ball to Mane that caused all the problems in the first half of them. Like, he had a couple of opportunities to do those sorts of passes again, and it was overhit. Again, I'll put it down to the fact that he's only just getting back from injury, and he's obviously had a busy summer. So hopefully we'll see better from him. But yeah, I think I thought he was poor today, to be honest.
And he was dealing with Kante.
Well, exactly. Like, it's never an easy task.
He should have been better. But Kendron, let us know in the comments what you think. Your thoughts on how Henderson played today as well, maybe. Ola Kunle, Mane had a poor game. Sam, I was being sarcastic about Mane and Jota. Okay.
Thank you.
We've got loads of people asking to join the stream. I mean, I've already answered that. I'm really sorry, guys. Mr. Silver Fox, Bray Watts is in the comments.
Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt. Okay. Let's have a look.
Oh, so frustrating.
It is. It really is.
Okay, there's just a lot of let's go to this one. So Kendron's got back to us. He was mid. I wish he scored that one shot. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So what can we take from this game? Next game.
Yeah, you can't take anything from this game. Next game.
Next game. Bring it on. So there's a bit of a break now, isn't there?
International break.
That pisses me off.
I was going to say, I don't think this is going to go in our favour, to be honest.
It never does, does it? We'll either come back with an injury or we'll just come back and play shite.
I'm tired, yeah.
Well, the good thing is that the African and Brazilian players have been banned from going.
That's good.
So they will get a break.
But they need to stop all these. Certainly, way things are at the moment.
Long distance flights, yeah.
Yeah, they need to stop all this shit, because at the end of the day, you know, it's causing disruption to everybody, and it's not helping the Premier League. It's not helping the players.
Absolutely.
No, it's not.
Stop it. Just stop it.
I think the fact that this is only the third game in, and there's already a break. They've had a break. They've had a pre-season. I think what makes it worse is there's just been a Euros, you know?
Yeah.
Now they're going again.
Yeah.
So it is quite annoying. What's our first game back after this break?
Leeds away.
Ellen Road. That's not going to be.
Come on, let's have some energy. Their Klopp is gonna make them sit and watch this game. He is gonna school them. He's gonna make them learn lessons. And we're gonna have to come back, all guns blazing.
I personally think we need a plan B and C.
Good thing is versus Leeds, they do not park the bus ever. No matter who they're playing, they will not park the bus. So we won't have this issue that we've had all last season and that we've re-encountered again today. So in all matter of fact, I think that might be actually a good game for us. Unless, you know, Bielsa looks at this game and thinks, oh,
let's fight them up.
Jemz, I'm going to hold you to that. Yeah, I'm going to.
I was going to say, like, you're right, though. There is no way Bielsa's parking the bus. He's, the worst he would do is park his bucket in the middle of the pitch. That's
what we love about Leeds, isn't it?
Yeah, they're a great team to watch, and just, is that the sort of game you want your first game back after a couple of weeks off? Like how heavy metal that game's going to be. You saw on our first game of last season, man, how vulnerable we were to them. Obviously, we got away with the win in the end, but it was a very fluky win. It wasn't
pretty,
it wasn't pretty. So, that's the sort of game you want to have a good few games under your belt. You've got the momentum built, not coming off the break. But obviously, we'll talk about that nearer the time.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, then. Last words from you, Nicholas. I just want to say
tonight, B minus.
Big minus.
B
I feel
minus.
like it's a loss. D minus.
B for very bad play.
The only thing I felt like was in that second half, I felt like at one point we had to take Bobby off. I think we really missed Bobby. Mane was a bit poor. Jota was struggling in that middle role. I got to a point where I thought, you know what? Just take off Mane and put Tsimikas on. About 70 minutes in, I thought that would just liven up that side of the pitch. I know it's unorthodox, but they parked the bus. Positions had gone out the window by that point. It was 11 versus 11 pretty much.
Do you know the biggest problem that we've got in that situation?
Yeah.
Certainly the second half. And this has been happening game on game on game in these situations. The play is too slow. They're not passing the ball quick enough. They're not spreading the play quick enough. They're not making their midfield or their back 4-3, whatever, move across the pitch quick enough to create those spaces. It's just too pedestrian. So what they need to do is they need to be this quick fire, one-touch pass football that they practice day in, day out at training. Yeah. So why are they not doing it on the pitch?
I know.
It's so frustrating. Pisses me right off that you know that they're practicing all this.
I know.
But they're just not doing it.
Just let it out.
Slow the play down. Yeah, just give them chance to get into their positions. Give them chance for their back 12 to be right across the line, whatever.
Absolutely.
What's the point? That's why they can't break them down.
I know. And I feel like we would have just had a bit of energy if we'd have brought Tsimikas on with 20 minutes to go. Even Minamino, just change up. Something a bit different for those last 20 minutes. It clearly wasn't working. There was no energy. And Tsimikas and Minamino in our preseason games have been the most energetic, the most creative.
Yeah.
I understand why he brought on Thiago, but for me, Jota wasn't clicking in that position and Mane just wasn't bringing anything to the team and he should have been benched.
All Klopp's got to do is, in my opinion, show them videos of the title-winning season. Okay? Show them videos of how they played in that season. Okay? With the quick passing, the quick movement, the creating space. Okay? And creating space inside the box as well for players to run into. Okay? That's what he's got to do, because if you show them that, and then you show them how they're playing at the moment and how they played last season with the slow play, you'll see such a difference.
Yeah.
So do what you did when you won the title, but do it now.
I mean, Salah and Mane, they're not going on break, are they? So they're going to have a long break with Klopp. getting
talk about.
I know Klopp didn't miss any of that. I know that he would have. You could see he wasn't happy as well.
But the standing of reffing was awful as well, again.
I did feel like, he was letting the game float, but a little bit too much in their favour in the second half. I think he felt bad for them.
Way
and that
too
was
much.
why, personally. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Potsy, final words before we wrap this up.
Well, I said in the pre-match show that I would take a draw against a team like Chelsea, depending on the game. This is not the game that I accept a point in. We should have taken full advantage of the situation. I would have been more than happy for everyone to call us Liverpool and bought the ref and everything. Had we won that second half, I couldn't give a shit.
Yeah, I couldn't give a shit either.
Thank
you very much. 3 points. Thank you very much.
Exactly. And we let ourselves down. And in the second half, for whatever reason, we turned into the team we were last season when we went on that bad run, playing slow build-up play, not taking risks. Like, we've got Matip and we've got Van Dijk back now. Like, have a bit more faith, have a bit more confidence in who you've got looking after you if you want to play a little bit quicker, if you want to be a little bit riskier. And I think...
And again, Potty, on top of that, we had one man over on them. So I failed to see what we were doing. Oh, fuck it. You know what? I lost the words.
You're right. You're absolutely right. When you look at, you knew Tuchel in the second half was playing for the point because of the changes. You knew he made sure he had 5 at the back, but he also had 3 in the midfield. So that's fine. They're fighting us in the midfield, 3v3. But why aren't we taking advantage on the wings? Like, I don't get that. Where's like a Robbo early ball to an on-running Jota or something like that, just to find that gap? We were so like, we seemingly seem so dependent on set pieces, and we can't get past the first man in a fucking corner. We've got the two best crosses, like 2 best fullbacks for crossing, probably arguably the 2 best crossers in the league. But when the ball's static, they can't do fuck all with it. They can't get it over the first man.
I think Samika's had 1 corner, and it was the best corner we'd done all game.
Yeah, Tibikas's corners are absolutely mint. He always gets it over. And you saw it in the second half as well. Elliot had to take the corner to roll the ball to Trent, so he had a little bit of momentum on the ball to get it over. It's like, I just don't feel, for whatever reason, we didn't feel confident in that second half to take a risk and to push forward. Even if he was to, why didn't we change the midfield? Why didn't we go 4-2-3-1? Bring on the Ox for Hendo, or bring on Minamino for the Hendo. Why not go for it? Fab was comfortable throughout the game. He wasn't at his best, but I think we can respect why. But he looked comfortable overall. Elliot, as we say, was our best player on the pitch. So, bring on another attacking midfielder. Go for it. It feels like a wasted opportunity. It should have been going into international break, 3 from 3, full of confidence, and heading into that Leeds game thinking, we're going to be fine. We're going to smash through them. And look, we may, depending on what happens during the break, depending on what injuries, somebody's going to be out for the season. It always happens. It was Joe Gomez this time last year. So somebody's going to be out for the season. We just got to wait on who.
Absolutely.
Place your bets, people. We are not giving you any odds.
Okay, let's wrap it up then. So we will be back. Thank you, Amandi, for keeping tuned in. Great show, guys. We've tried to make it great. We've tried to make it exciting. So yes, Chelsea at home. It was a draw, but ultimately second half versus 10 men should have been an easy 3 points. We made it hard for ourselves. Yes, they can defend very well. But we were poor. Very poor, especially the last 20 minutes. So we will be back. Thank you, Silver Fox. Thank you very much. And thank you, Sam. Thank you for your comments. And Ola Kunle, DVD picking up a knock in first half. Also, Firmino going off fits in the lads. Firmino didn't get a knock. I think he just, someone knocked his pretty hair out of place a little bit.
No, he was comfortable the whole game.
He was fine. Solo 7. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we will be back. Kop Talk Thursday nights, 9:30. I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about. Maybe we could talk about, how to take a corner, how to defend a corner. If anybody wants to join us, we will find the section of the rule book that depicts, if you stop a goal scoring opportunity, why it is a red card. We could school some people. Anyway, thanks for joining me tonight, guys. We'll be back Thursday, 9:30. Thanks for watching.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
And one thing I do like about him, he'll put his head where other people won't even put their boot.
We want people that are going to be competing for that first team spot, not another Shaqiri.
The way that this brother plays football. When we were linked,